Hello, and welcome back. So, last time we left off trying to get this character set to display properly. And today we'll pick up the thread on that. And the first thing is that we're going to try to simplify it. And we'll start off there. Second of all, I'm going to try and reduce the length of these videos. So they're getting a little bit long. So I'll try to make it a little shorter this time. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to just make another program here. I'll call it just test. And this test program, that is going to allow me to focus on the code that I need to do and not have to go through many lines of code that is already there. So I'll just make a separate one which only does exactly what I want. So I'll set this up, and I'll steal some of the stuff from here so I don't have to type everything all over again. I'll need the source or the library, and I'll need the character set, which is down here, and we can bring the width table as well in case we'll need it. There we go, and enough with one text line. There we go. So just look at that memory location 4000. That's outside the video bank that we're working in. So okay, let's start off with the basic start to main. Let's just make sure this works. No, it does not. Basic up start to. See if that works. There we go. And it's good. Alright, so we got that running. Now let's see, there's some things I'll just steal from here to save a little time. We'll take this one. We'll call that screen memory. That's a little bit more, makes a little bit more sense here. So something like that. Yes, the color here should be 1 0, and this can be actually 0. So we'll be using single color, and that means we need to set bitmap mode and single color mode. There we go. And we need to set the graphics bank. Set graphics bank, and then we want the bitmap memory as well. Jesus. There we go. So we want that one, and we want the screen memory. Okay, let's see if that works. Looks good, yes. This is the ready prompt. That's why you see these colors here. What I can do is I can do I'm not gonna need any interrupts or anything like that this time. So make a little sections here just to so in between these brackets is where I'll do the display code, and then it's a little bit tidier this way. Try to set 3 by 3, that's the font. Yes, this looks good. So the first thing that we can take into consideration is that for every 8 bytes that we transfer, these are sequential. So basically we need to figure out where to fetch these 8 bytes from, and we need to figure out where to store it. And to fetch them, the location in memory, so for example, for the first letter, which should be the at symbol, that is located at 4000, and it's 3 by 3, so it's 3 by 3 by 9, which means 72 bytes, which means that let's see, no, that was not the calculator, that was the calendar. There we go. So programming 72, that means that in hex that's 48, and you might remember we saw that in the memory earlier. So the next letter, that will be 4048, and again 72 bytes. So this is the at, and this is the a, and so on and so forth. And in this case, the first 3 chunks of 8 by 8 is the top line, and then the next 3 is the second line, and the last 3 is the third line. So that's all well and good. So basically I'm going to use the index register because I want to copy 8 bytes every time I move something. So I'll use index register to allow me to loop through it, and then I know that the location for this character set is here, so I'll just use that. And then I'm going to apply some offsets, which I can then adjust. So the first thing I'll apply is 72 multiplied with 0. So this basically allows me to select which character. So if it's multiplied with 0, it should be the at. If it's multiplied with 1, it should be the a and 2b, etc. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is I also need to decide which 8 by 8 block inside this 72 byte block that I need. So I'll just add their 0 for this one, but just stay with me, and I'll index that with X. So that's fine. And then I want to store this to the bitmap memory. And I also want to apply some offsets here. The first offset is 320 times 0, 320. Yes, that is correct. That is which line I want this to come on. And then I will also apply which X column it should be written to. And I'll apply the X here as well. And there we go. So if my theory now is correct, this should actually fetch this is just one piece, one 8 by 8 block, and put it on the top left of the screen. So let's see if that works. There we go. So this forms the first 8 by 8 block of the character that we want to display. And from here, and this is a typical mistake, you copy the branch, that will mess it up. So we'll do like that. Now, for the next one, I know the next one is just the next 8 by 8 block from the character set. So I'll just add one here. And also here on the X, I just add one here. So that should be okay. That means now it should give me the next part of that sign. And then for the next one is 2 and 2. And there we go, that's the third chunk of that character. Now I believe this is how far we got, and then now comes the part where we actually have to make some changes to how we do things. So for the next part, just separate that a little bit here. Now I still want to just increase this one with 3, so this is just +1 every time. However, this time I want to add 1 here, because I want to go 1 line down, and I want to go back to the beginning, so to the far left. So this should show the correct letter, and there you go, that looks right. And then I'll just repeat that for the next two. This one should then be 4, and that one should be 5, and by 1, yes, 0 and 1 and 2. So let's see if we're now starting to get something that looks like a at, yes. And then it's the third line, which basically is just the same all over again. And then with 6, 7 and 8, that's all the 9 characters, and this time it is multiplied with 2 here, because one more line down, and hopefully that should give us the entire at. So there we have it. So we have control over the display routine now. This is something that I will not use it like this. This is just to make sure that I have the memory locations set up correctly. From here, the next thing that I should take into account is, okay, when I start to draw out a text line, for example, like this, most characters will be 2 or 3 spaces wide. So I can make some notes here, just so I'll remember. So customize 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 wide display routines. Now, for the 4 and 5, I believe it's very few characters that is 4 and 5. Let's see. Yeah, it should be the M is 5, W is 5, and the I is 4. So there's only 3 letters. So they are very special cases, plus they also contain some special memory fetches, because you have to go outside the 3 by 3 block that we are using for all the letters. So these two will be a little bit special, but we can make special checks for that when we set up the routine. But for these ones, for example, if this is only, let's say if we, let's call that character. That should be fine. So I'll define the character, which then basically means I should be able to choose which letter that I'm displaying. So if I say character equal 1, now it was 0, and now I'm just trying to force it to be a 1. Hopefully this should display an A, and there we go, the A comes up. However, this time part of this code is unnecessary. I only need this one and this one, but this one here is not necessary. That is the third column. So basically every time you write to the third column, which is also here, like that, that still works. So I'll customize that, and then if it's only one wide, I can also take out this one. This is just to optimize it a little bit on how you draw it out. However, if I use this routine to display the at again, I'm missing part of it. So there you have it. That's basically how you'll control these things. Okay. I think that's going to be where we put the cut. As I said, I'll try to shorten these videos down. Next time we're going to try and see if we can fetch this text, and we're just going to try to print it out this time, and we'll worry about the centering later. We'll try to simplify it and work our way from the end to the, let's call it, fancy stuff. So we'll do that. That means the code needs to be wrapped up in a different way, and we also need to do some conditional checks based on the width of the characters, and if there are these 3 special characters that need special attention, etc. So just a short video this time, and we'll pick up next time. Happy coding, and cheers, and take care, guys.